still be on the show. We're going to talk more about this if there is a show, if it comes back in a couple of years. Doing a whole episode on that, guys. Who knows that when Teresa's on the show and Marge isn't and Jennifer Aydin isn't, maybe they'll be friends. I doubt it, but stranger things have happened. But I like seeing them come together almost. Danielle's loving it. Jackie turns to her and says, look, the whole world, you accused Evan of cheating. You're looking for pictures. And I know this for a fact, Jennifer Aydin did go and try to investigate and find women and all this other shit that would vouch for this. And yeah. So Jackie said, when that happens, of course, I called Louie's ex to my house. I wanted something on you. I get it. I don't think it's that big a deal because it really was in the past. Teresa also doesn't think it's that big a deal. Once again, Melissa Gorga, I got to give it to you. Everyone's going to think I'm a huge Melissa fan. I think Melissa had a great season and she's been great in her interviews. I'm really liking Melissa these days. I really am. Sorry. It's called being a human. Don't take anything back I ever said about her. I don't do that. But I love that Melissa's like, what? She's okay with that. And now Jackie and her are like, and yet we're still talking about the fucking sprinkle cookies 10 seasons later. Brilliant line, but it is true. We are still talking about that. And she's fine with this. And it's all because she doesn't want to give Margaret. And then Jennifer Aydin, I got to give it to her. We're not going to see her again on the show after next week, but I got to give it to her. She does have a point that Teresa has a delayed reaction. And, when this sinks in, she's like, I don't think Teresa's processing it. Let's face it, Teresa's not the brightest tool in the shed, if you know what I'm saying. When Teresa processes this, that Jackie had Louie's ex in her house, I don't want to be around. And let's face it, the cameras will stop. And she went to dinner with Jackie to prove whatever a few weeks ago. She don't care. Listen, Melissa is dead to her. Joe is dead to her, but never say never. Her brother married a whore. And let's just remember that when it comes to Margaret, she fucking hates her. So it backfired. She doesn't hate Jackie. There you go. And that's how Melissa's old nose said we're going to cut a scene. The cast went. They watched it in separate rooms. They were shocked. Where is the scene? Where is the glass? We saw the glass in the beginning. Teresa's camp rumor, Melissa's old nose is saying, put out this narrative that Danielle threw a glass picture at her. Jennifer is saying that. I don't know how these people just make up a lie. I don't know. Well, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, but someone's got to get someone from Rails and ask what they saw. But Teresa's camp, Melissa's old nose, and a lot of other people are saying, put out a narrative that's floating around that they edited a scene where Danielle threw a glass pitcher at her because they're protecting Danielle and they want to maybe be able to have her back. Melissa's old nose and others are saying that it was a plastic pitcher. Bravo put props there. The pitcher slipped out of her hand, broke a plate, broke a glass, and it went flying at Jennifer, which it could happen. I don't know what happened, honestly. Look, I would really hope that if someone is not picking up a glass pitcher, like I tend to not think that Danielle would be that fucking stupid. I mean, think about it. You hate someone, you pick up a glass pitcher and throw it at them. Like throwing a knife at someone, you could kill them. I would just think you wouldn't do that with a glass pitcher. I don't know what happened, but once again, Melissa's old nose was right because it was edited out. It was edited out. There's that. And we don't really have any resolution. Melissa has revealed to the audience that we're nowhere. We are nowhere. Aydin and Cabral are nowhere. Fuda and Teresa are nowhere. Margaret and Teresa were everyone says fuck you to each other. Jackie and Margaret say fuck off. They all leave. Poor Jackie goes out. They say Jackie's a traitor. Danielle is making it into all along. The quiet one was the real one. And we just look back over the years and everything is fading to black. And Dolores finally tells us that family is everything to this group. This group is no longer a family. We are broken and this was toxic. And there you have it. Did we learn anything? No. Was it a great episode? Yes. I'm going to do a whole episode on what I think is going to happen with the future of RHONJ and who will be back, if the show will be back. I have a lot of thoughts. I could be wrong, but people tune in for my nuanced analysis, and that is what I am going to do about the future of this show, because I have stepped away from it over the past few days, even though I'm talking about it now, and I've gotten some clarity, and I just think I can see what is going to happen with this show. I could be wrong, but I want to outline all of my thoughts, and I want to outline them slowly. And I'm a human being, I'm flawed, so maybe I'm totally fucking wrong, but I want to share my thoughts with you on what I think is going to happen. And yeah, it's really a shame we have gotten here. I'm excited for a break from RHONJ. I know all of you are. If things happen in the real world, I mean, in between seasons, we have talked about RHONJ so much here on this podcast. If things are happening, we will talk about them. But think about it. Things are happening with Vanderpump and we bring them up. But unless something is so shocking, like, are we shocked? Jax checked in, Brittany's with a guy from The Bachelor, Bachelorette, like, we're not really so invested in Vanderpump at the moment. So when Jersey's off, I think we'll all be less vested. We've gotten through this together. I have no teams. You could think I had Melissa's old nose on here every week because I hate Teresa. I don't care if you think this. I don't care if you think I'm paid by Marge or come for Marge. I mean, I hear it all. The bottom line is you're going to drive yourself crazy if you're trying to figure out what team I'm on, because I truly don't have a team. I truly, truly don't care. I care about doing this job, and I care about sharing my thoughts and my analysis and looking at all of this with a critical eye. But they're all guilty, all of them. I mean, and just watching this finale, I was laughing because I'm like, this is how we got here. So Jackie invited her, Marge did this, Teresa did this, Jennifer is doing this. This is how we got here. Like, the reason why the show ain't filming anytime soon, if ever, the reason why most of you will never be back, if all of you, is because of this finale. Like, it just proves its point. And I don't agree with Andy that this was so final that there was not a need for a reunion. That's just bullshit. It's because of the violence and all the manila envelopes that would have come out. That's why we don't have a reunion. That's where we are with this. And should we let in Andrea Lopez as Teresa? She was just on Watch What Happens, our little girl. No, Andrea's been around way before we started having her on this Patreon. She's phenomenal. I also saw her just do Sofia Vergara in some play, and she was like phenomenal. So let's let in Andrea Lopez as Teresa and talk about this for a few minutes and then wrap everything up. What an episode. Here she comes.